Time for another women's basketball game here at Arkansas, along with Tom Collen, head coach of women's basketball team, Alex Perlman, along with you. Game day yet again. This is number 3. You guys are 2-0, taking on a Furman team that you saw down in Greenville, South Carolina last season. Beat them pretty good, but again, this is another year, another team, but you guys are off to a very hot start.
Well, we are. I'm happy to be 2-0. We played, pretty well against Oral Roberts. We shot the ball well again. That's always going to be important for us, I think. But I think I was probably most impressed with our defense. I thought it was awfully solid. We knew they were going to come out and try to dribble drive us and try to get to the free throw line. And we did a good job of keeping our hands off of them and staying between them and the basket. I think that was the big difference. The Furman team, I think they're going to be definitely a step up probably from Oral Roberts. We got off to a rocky start down there last year. I think we were down 8-0 or 10-0. So a very competitive team, well coached. They returned most of their starting players. They had a kid sitting out that was injured that's back, who's going to be an outstanding player, and they signed a couple of freshmen. So, it's every game is a unique game. Everything's different. I keep telling our players that all the time. Like, don't get used to this. It would be nice to win by 50 or 60, but every game is a little bit different, and so we just need to get out there. We need to keep getting better every single game.
One thing that we're seeing so far, and maybe we weren't expecting it, but this team has already shot 43s. They've made 20 of them. Now, granted, you have beat up pretty good on these first two teams, but the way that you shoot the ball, I mean, even if you shoot 35% and knock it down 15%, that's still a great mark. It seems like that could be a hallmark of this team.
Well, once again, I caution our players and our fans a little bit. Shooting kind of comes and goes.
Yeah.
We've really built our tradition really on the defensive side because we feel like that's what's always going to keep us in the games when the shots aren't going. But at the same time, I think when I came here 6 years ago, the idea was to get out and recruit shooters, and we've never really had a team, I think, that could shoot the ball like this team can. Now the story will be whether they can continue to shoot it the way that they have. But certainly Mackenzie Adams, Kelsey Brooks has stepped up in a big way. Jess Jackson, a kid who's a big 4 player. Not many 6'3" kids step out there to the arc and can shoot it. She's shooting it pretty well. And Callie Byrne is getting a little bit more aggressive, and I've always felt like she could be a 40% three-point shooter. So right now, all 4 of them are pretty hot, and we'd like to keep it that way if we can.
Callie, by the way, is 4 of 5 from 3 this season. That is not a terrible mark by any means, especially for your point guard. You mentioned Jess Jackson, averaging 18 points in her first 2 games. She has been so solid for you guys. You knew that you were getting a special player, but she has, I think, maybe gone above and beyond expectations here with 17 points first game, 19 points. Who knows? Maybe she ups it by 2 and has 21 here today, but she's really done nicely for you.
Well, she's out of the gate quick. We run stuff for her, and she's an aggressive scorer. She wants to score with the basketball. She's not a selfish kid at all. She's a really good passer as well, and I think as she scores, we're going to find out how good of a passer she is, because I think she's willing to distribute the ball and not shoot it every time she touches it. So, but she can just score in a variety of ways. She can score inside, she can score outside, she can score off offensive rebounds. She blocks shots for us, which creates some transition offense for us. So, she's an outstanding talent, and we want to keep her going. She's got a long ways to go, but certainly we're glad to have her right now, and we're just going to keep working with her every day and see just how good she can become.
What about this Furman team? What kind of similarities are we going to see from teams that we've already seen, or differences? What are we going to get to witness here from this Furman club?
Well, so many of the mid-major teams that we play early in the preseason, some of them don't really come out with a lot of height, so they're not quite as big a team right now. They do have a 6'3" kid that played in their first game, didn't play in their second. We're not sure whether she's going to play or not, but she gives them some size if she's going to get out there. But they're a well-coached team. They've got a great combination of athleticism and some kids who can shoot the basketball. They share the ball pretty well as well. So, I just think it'll be a different kind of challenge for us as opposed to Oral Roberts and Sam Houston State.
Well, defense has been so good this season, forcing 36 turnovers in the win over Oral Roberts, hoping for that same defensive intensity that we have grown to know here with Tom Collen in Arkansas. So for Tom, I'm Alex Perlman. Thanks so much for joining us here on Razor Vision.